Yeah, it's okay. We're on mute.
We're stopped.
All right, we can open.
He went home.
The clock
I
says
imagine he's
the
gonna.
clock says 7:30. I have a quorum here. I'd like to call the June meeting of the zoning board of appeals to order to the town of Pine Plains. We have just a couple things on our agenda tonight. The main thing is we have a public hearing on the Cisco variance. We do have the pages. You'll recall that they received a variance and requires that for a variance to stay in effect, you need to act on it within a year. They've had difficulty with a contractor. They want to extend it. So we'll take that up at a little bit later after the Cisco.
Is that the
Garage they were putting out.
at the Hages?
Yeah.
Got it.
So with that, we have had I believe, a duly advertised public hearing. I would go ahead and open that hearing. I see a few people in the audience. It doesn't look like that they're ready to speak, but anyone who would like to speak on this, maybe we could ask Wesley, because we do have a video audience, to just review what the proposal is.
So I will just lay down a map. I think it's up on there too, but as we discussed last week.
Whatever happens to you there. Hey, West Side, touch it up, don't you turn it up like you're right in.
The Cisco's have a piece of property that's separated by North Main Street and Hoffman Road. North Main Street is a county route, and Hoffman Road, and it's one tax parcel on both sides of the road. When they redid the bridge, there was some highway taking, so it's separated by fee title in that sense. The zoning has everything on what would be the east side of the road in a Hamlet Main Street zoning district, and everything on the west side, the 1.73 in a rural. There's two residences on the property currently. They have been there for some time. And the Cisco's are in the process of doing some estate planning and would like to separate the houses from each other, so only one residence would be on a lot. So we came to the zoning board of appeals to get an area variance down to 1.73 for all the area on the west side of the road. I will say that the one neighbor did give me a call today, Frank Bradley. The only thing that he was concerned about was he has a right of way to get into his land here, which it is shown here as per that filed map. I assured him that it was on my map. It's in the Cisco's deed. It'll be on the final subdivision that's there, and everything would be fine with that. No, he was supportive.
Is that the only access he has to his property is through that? Okay.
We have anybody in the public? Please, no. Is there anyone else that would like to?
Are the girls prepared some kind of?
They came with ice cream to keep their mouths occupied. Good kind.
That's a good technique. Good technique.
Is there anything that the board members would like to say or
Very self.
during the public hearing? Seeing that there appears to be none, I believe we have no written correspondence, and is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So made.
Second.
Second, we have a second, all in favor will say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed? I hear none. Per what had, we looked at this before, this is two existing homes. It's not going to change anything one iota. Having served on the group that was trying to do our best to write the zoning, probably if we had realized this was all one property, we would have zoned it the same. Based upon the fact that everything is existing, nothing is gonna change. It's pretty easy to say it's not gonna have an impact on the neighborhood. We kind of talked about that and I pursued in my typical way of at least trying to, make an attempt at writing what I thought that the issues were. I invite the board to take a look at that and I'll kind of read through. You are always free to alter, change, add whatever conditions, but we're gonna move along here. So whereas the Town of Pine Plains Zoning Board of Appeals is in receipt of an area variance application from Keith and Janine Cisco for property located at 11 Hoffman Road, Town of Pine Plains, tax map, blah, 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 to allow the creation of a lot in the rural district with less than the required 5 acres. And whereas the Zoning Board of Appeals has reviewed the subject variance request submitted by Keith and Janine Cisco, and after review of the application, I wanted to make you do this once, you guys. The town habitat thing.
Right, well, let's see it. But quick question, isn't it 10 Hoffman Road that's in? Not 11? Isn't it the one side of the road that we're looking at?
Well, I think that their application lists their residents.
Their
at the
resident, okay.
11.
I just want to make sure that we don't have any problems with.
Yep.
Coming back.
So there's Main Street, so it's just on the edge of this other map. There it is. It's right up. Here's North Main Street.
Yeah.
And so it's gonna be on this side of the road, is sort of that little white area.
Mhm.
So I think the smokehouse would be where the H is.
Yeah.
And their property would be where the M is. And so the fact that it's white is developed and non-significant habitat.
Good,
And you guys need to remind me to pull these out for you more often.
Yeah.
We say it in every resolution that we look at
so we look at it,
it.
fair enough. Okay.
That's it. We got it. So after review of the application, including a review of the town habitat map. Actually, I don't have one. You two should sit together so you can read it better. A legally noticed public hearing held today. Proposed action is a type 2 action under seeker. And by law is not considered to have a significant impact on the environment and no further environmental review is required. Whereas Hoffman Road bisects the Cisco property with 1.73 acres being on the west side of Hoffman Road in the rural district of the town zoning regulations and 6.8 acres being on the east side of Hoffman Road in the Hamlet residential district with 2 existing homes, one on each side of Hoffman Road, both constructed prior to zoning. And whereas the Cisco's wish to have the option of selling the house and land on the west side of the road, separate from the land and house on the east side of the road. And whereas the Cisco land on the west side of Hoffman Road contains 1.73 acres in the rural district, where the minimum lot size required is 5 acres, and an area variance is required to allow the creation of a lot of 1.73 acres. And whereas the board finds that maintaining the 5-acre requirement creates a hardship since the property is split by the public highway and the 2 homes are already existing, so there will be no physical changes to the property or character of the neighborhood by allowing the property on the west side of Hoffman Road to be legally subdivided from the property on the east side of Hoffman Road. And whereas the variance requested is not substantial for the neighborhood and the 1.73, I should say acre, west property has an existing home with a health department approved well and septic system. And whereas the property configuration with 1.73 acres with a house on the west side of Hoffman Road was previously existing prior to zoning and hence will not adversely affect the character of nor be a detriment to the neighborhood. And whereas this lot was created to the adoption prior to the adoption of zoning, and hence any hardship was not self-created, And now therefore be it resolved that based upon the preceding findings, the zoning board of appeals of the town of Pine Plains hereby, I presume it's going to be grants the application for the variance to the requirements found in schedule of bulk regulations table B, allowing the legal separation of a 1.73 acre parcel on the west side of Hoffman Road from the remaining Cisco property on the east side of Hoffman Road, thus allowing the creation of a lot less than 5 acres with the following conditions. And the only one that I could think of is that we all recognize the final subdivision must be approved and meet the conditions of the town planning board. Anybody have any other thoughts?
Only thing that I would say, and I don't know if it needs to be in there or not, because it's in that district, there's non-conforming, existing non-conforming offsets, whether it's side yard, rear yard, but there's no changes to what's going on there. They're pre-existing non-conforming. So really, we don't need any variances for that because they're already pre-existing.
No, and if you know, in the future, somebody wanted to do something, they would have to come
To you.
back in here. Unfortunately, we can't grant a blanket. That's just.
Just one question, where does Hoffman Road begin at North Main Street?
Again,
Right at the end of Ryan,
yeah, I guess that Ryan.
right at the end of Ryan, and that's that dam.
So just the smokehouse would be on still Hoffman Road.
Right, and their property.
Yeah.
Okay,
Weird, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
It's already
Right,
patched
that, yeah.
hill.
Yeah.
I didn't realize
It used to, but it used to be all North Main Street.
Yes.
16 North Main Street.
Yeah.
When we
Yeah.
moved there.
Oh,
And
Oh, you were?
1-1 came
Yeah.
in. That's when they changed it to Hoffman Road.
wow.
The
okay.
reason being that old man Hoffman went down to Dutchess County and lobbied hard.
I was gonna say, there was a history there that he wanted to make sure that stayed on that road. That's right.
Okay.
And he was so proud of that.
Squeaky wheel.
Any other changes or conditions from the board? So with that draft before you, is there someone that would like to make a motion that
I
we,
will motion. Accept this.
like Carl? Is there a second?
Second,
All right. Was there any further discussion? If not, all in favor will say aye.
I,
Is there any opposed? Oh,
no,
thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
thank you.
Ron.
Easy peasy.
That was squeezy.
I'm not done yet.
Whatever. What about that? You know, you gotta come back next month. So,
You're gonna be sorry you opened this can of
I
worms.
just not,
I can't.
you can educate me.
Yeah. God bless you.
And I'll just write in the check.
July meeting.
Have they said when
The
they,
July meeting, I'll put you back on the,
July meeting.
Okay. What's the date?
July.
so Gene is in 2033. What room is Keith in?
You just got assigned a room. It's out. This is crazy. Where are you?
Where?
No, oh no, wait a minute.
What happened?
2041. Jean is what?
2033. Both spouses are in the hospital with pneumosis,
Oh, my
What's
God.
this? What's?
tick-borne.
Oh,
Ah,
is there anything I can do for you? Okay.
Really? Yeah.
Where are they at? Northern or at Vassar?
Northern Dutchess.
Northern Dutchess?
Did they say when they're discharging her?
Hers, with this disease attacks your red.
Yes.
Attacks your
Red-
blood, and
Yeah.
her
Oh.
red cells are still going down.
Oh, my
And
gosh.
her white blood cells, which is your defense.
Yes.
It is low, and so they're not letting her out until they know they've got it, in retreat.
Low blood pressure.
Low white blood cell count.
No, but how is her blood pressure?
Oh, it seems fine.
Seemed
Because
okay?
Pete's what?
Plummeted? Oh,
Passed out.
oh, my gosh.
Actually, hers has gone down because
Yeah, I mean.
she's not
his
taking her
blood
blood pressure
is
medicine and it's staying in the
It was
normal
80.
range.
Oh,
Wow.
So, really sick, really sick.
yeah.
Let us
Oh,
know
my
if there's
goodness.
anything we
Yeah,
can
if there's
do to
anything
help.
we can do,
Thank you,
please.
thank you. The worst part of it was I had my granddaughter. I have my granddaughter. So I didn't
Who's
want
here?
her to be traumatized.
Well, sure, she's here. Oh,
Yeah, so anyway, my best friend Valerie picked her up, brought her over to her
Yeah.
granddaughter's house.
oh. All right,
You know,
When it rains, it
it
pours.
does.
thank you.
Bye.
Bye, thanks, Russ. Oh, my
Uh,
goodness. When did
Does he want?
Jean go in the hospital? Was it all today?
She's been sick for a week and finally we went in on Sunday to the emergency room.
And they
She's
kept
been
her.
through several doctors,
Okay.
and nobody was getting it.
Oh,
And finally went to the emergency room and they really got on it.
wow, good, good. Yeah.
We feel. All right, I'm gonna insert the. I think folks will remember, we gave a variance that allowed the Hages to
Yep.
put a garage in their
the front.
front yard.
Mhm.
They have written a letter and said that they've had difficulty with a couple of their contractors.
Yeah.
And that, they would like to extend it. I see no reason.
Yeah.
Not to, so I would just say, I would
I'm
make the
good with it.
motion that we, allow the Hages, variance request or the approval to be extended for. I'm not opposed to extend it for another year.
I would say another year. They're having a
Yeah.
really tough time getting a contractor.
So, I made the motion. Is there a second?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, will say aye. Aye. Any opposed? I hear none. The only other thing that we had were the minutes which went out earlier. Is there someone willing to make a motion on the minutes?
I'll make that.
I'll second it. Is there any further discussion?
I wasn't
Not-
here, so.
All in favor, will say aye.
I,
Aye.
So I guess we have three and an
Yeah.
abstention. Or
Four.
and an abstention. Anybody else have anything else they need to bring up?
no,
Then with that, is there a motion to adjourn?
yes, please.
Okay.
Second that.